Go and ask 10 people what a data engineer actually does all day. And I promise you, you will get 10 different vague hand-wavy answers. Something with pipelines, big data stuff. They are like the back end, but for data. Even a lot of people who work right next to data engineers couldn't give you a clear definition of the role. So here is my promise for the next few minutes. By the end of this video, you are going to understand what data engineering actually is more clearly than most people already working in the industry around it. Just the real honest picture explained the way I wish someone had explained it to me when I was completely lost. So let's forget about the tools for a few minutes. Forget Spark, forget Airflow, Cloud, all the tools that you are familiar with, all the tools that you have heard in the data engineering space. Because if you start with the tools, you will drown, and worse, you will memorize things without ever understanding what they are for. Let's start with the actual job instead. A data engineer's job at its absolute core is to make sure the right data shows up in the right place, in the right shape, at the right time, reliably over and over without failing. That's it. That's the entire mission. So I'll give you an example here to elaborate the idea. Think about the water system of an entire city. There is a vast invisible network of pipes running underneath every street, right? Carrying a clean water to every home and every business, all day, every day. And here's the thing about that system. Nobody ever thinks about it. Nobody wakes up and feels grateful for that pipes. The water just works, so it's invisible. Until one day, the water stops. And then, suddenly, it's the only thing anybody can think about. That is exactly what a data engineer is. You are the person who makes sure that the water never stops, invisible when everything works, and absolutely critical the very second it doesn't. Now, let me break the actual work down into 3 honest moves. Because once you see these 3, you will see them everywhere in this field, okay? Move number 1, you get the data. You pull it out of whenever it currently lives, from apps, from databases, external services and their APIs, from files, from all sorts of messy sources that were never designed to work together. That's move number 1, get the data. Move number 2, you shape the data. You clean it, you fix the errors, you join it together with other data, you reshape it into something that actually trustworthy and genuinely useful. Raw data is almost always a mess, and shaping it is a huge part of the craft. That's move number 2. So move number 1, get the data. Move number 2, shape the data. And last move, move number 3, you deliver the data. You land it somewhere that the people and the systems who need it can actually reach it. The analyst building reports, dashboards, executives stare at every morning, the machine learning models that need clean input to work at all. And then underneath all 3 of these moves, there is the piece that separates a professional from a beginner. You make that entire process run automatically, on a schedule, reliably, without you sitting there and babysitting it every single day. So, get it, shape it, deliver it, and automate it. That's the whole job. And every tool you'll ever learn is just serving one of those steps. Okay, now let me clear up the things that confuses almost every single beginner, which is how data engineering is different from all the other data jobs you keep hearing about. We have data analyst, data scientist, data engineer, and nobody explains the difference cleanly. Let me do that right now, and it's simpler than you think. A data analyst answers questions using data. They take data that already exists and they use it to figure out what's happening in the business. Why did sales drop last quarter? Which products do our best customers buy? They turn data into answers and insights. A data scientist builds models from data. They use data to predict things and to build the smart system. Forecasting demand, recommending products, detecting fraud. They are building things that learn from the data. And a data engineer, that's you, makes sure that both of those people actually have a clean, reliable, trustworthy data to work with in the first place. Without you, the analyst is analyzing garbage and the scientist is training a model on a mess. Everything they do depends entirely on the foundation that you build. And this is where it gets genuinely interesting for your career. So pay close attention here. The analyst and the data scientist tend to get the spotlight. They get the fancy job title, they present the shiny result to the executives. The data engineer gets the dependency, and that word matters enormously. It means nothing they do actually works without you first. That is precisely why this role is so important. You sit upstream of everything. You are not a nice to have. You are the foundation the whole house is built on. And if you are watching this as a manager or an architect or someone leading a team without even having built this hands-on, this is exactly the picture you need, because you can't really lead what you can't see. Right? I have sat with people in genuinely senior roles who could talk strategy all day, but couldn't tell you why their pipelines kept breaking, and it left them quietly exposed in every technical conversation they walked into. So understanding this layer, even just at a high level, completely changes how well you can lead the people who build it. And here is the part that should make you genuinely optimistic about timing. A lot of people are nervous that artificial intelligence is going to make technical careers disappear. But for data engineering, the AI boom did the exact opposite. It made this role dramatically more valuable, not less. Because every single AI feature, every model, every chatbot, every smart recommendation is completely starving for clean, well-engineered, reliable data. A model is only ever as good as the data pipeline feeding it. Feed it a mess and it produces a mess, no matter how advanced it is. And someone has to build and maintain that pipeline. That someone is a data engineer. So the very technology people are scared of is the technology creating more demand for exactly this skill. And there is a second half of this that's just as important. AI doesn't just increase the demand for data engineers, it also changes how the best ones work. The strongest data engineers today aren't competing with AI, they are using it. I think you already have heard about this a lot. They let it write the boring, repetitive code, draft their test, and explain confusing errors messages so they can spend their actual brain power on the decisions that matter. I will show you exactly how that works in the next video, because knowing how to work with AI is quickly becoming one of the highest value skills you can have in this field. So now, for the first time maybe, you can actually see the job clearly. Get the data, shape the data, deliver the data, and automate the whole thing. The invisible system that everything else in a company quietly depends on. And seeing it that clearly forces the next obvious question right to the front of your mind. How do I actually learn to build that? Where do I even begin? And this right here is the exact point where almost everyone drowns. They open up the field ready to learn, and they immediately get hit in the face by 50 different tools all at once. SQL, Python, Spark, Airflow, dbt, Snowflake, BigQuery, AWS, GCP, Terraform, Kafka, with absolutely no idea which one comes first, or which ones they can safely ignore for now. So they freeze completely, or even worse, they start grabbing tools at random, learn everything in the wrong order, and burn themselves out. So the next video is the direct fix for the exact problem. I'm going to give you the complete roadmap, the exact path in the exact right order, with every single step earning its place, so that you never ever have to waste a week guessing what to learn next. It's genuinely the video I most wish someone had handed me at the beginning. It would have saved me over a year. Next, the full zero to job ready roadmap, in the order that actually makes sense. It's the single biggest time saver in the whole playlist. Watch it now. And if you'd like that roadmap personalized to exactly where you are right now, based on your skills, based on your studies, all of that, instead of a generic version, that's the whole point of the free call that you can schedule right now. The link is below.